Hey everyone, welcome back to Taxi Talks. Tonight we are diving into some late night taxi rides and breaking it down into the good, the bad, and the downright crazy. These are the rides that make me laugh, hate, and sometimes just laugh at this job. So grab a seat and let's get started with some of the wildest late night stories. A heartwarming story about helping someone in need or bringing people together. First up in the good category, we have the unexpected reunion. I picked up a young guy who was trying to get to his friend's place after his wallet had been stolen. He was down on his luck and didn't have money for the fare, but I decided to give him a break. By the end of the ride, he insisted on Venmoing me the next day and did just that. It reminded me that sometimes people just need a little help, and I was glad to be able to lend a hand. A light-hearted story about a group of people having fun or bringing positive energy. Next in the good list is the party ride. Late one night, I picked up a group of friends celebrating a birthday. They were laughing, joking, and even started singing karaoke in the back. They had this contagious positive energy that made me forget it was the middle of the night. By the end of the ride, I was even singing along with them. A positive story about a regular passenger you've come to know over time. Another one in the good category is the friendly regular. This guy would always call for a ride after his late night shift. We started chatting on each trip, and over time I got to know about his job, family, and dreams. It's cool to build that kind of connection with someone you'd otherwise never meet. A story about challenging or disrespectful passenger who had too much to drink. Moving on the bad category, we have the rude drunk. Late night rides often mean dealing with drunk passengers, and this guy was on another level. He gets in, starts yelling, telling me how to drive, and then has the nerve to complain about the fare. Thankfully, he eventually passed out, and I managed to get him home without any more drama. But it's those moments that test your patience. A frustrating story about a passenger who thought they lost their wallet or couldn't pay. Next on the list is the "Where's my wallet?" passenger. I drove this guy across town only for him to realize he lost his wallet when we got there. He spends 10 minutes digging through his pockets and finally find it buried in his jacket. A whole lot of time wasted, but at least he paid off in the end. A story about a passenger who gave confusion or conflicting directions, making for a frustrating ride. Then there is the endless directions. This guy kept changing his mind on where he wanted to go. Left, right, then left again. We drove in circles for what felt like forever. At one point, I had to politely tell him to make up his mind. Eventually, we got him where he wanted to go, but my patience was definitely tested. A wild story about a passenger who shared strange beliefs or theories. Now let's move into the crazy theories. Starting with the conspiracy theorist. This guy gets in and immediately starts telling me about how the government is tracking us through pages. Yes, pages. He had a whole theory about how they are spyware. I wasn't sure whether to laugh or nod along. But the guy was serious. By the end, I knew more about conspiracy theories than I ever wanted to. A funny story about a passenger dressed in an unusual costume or outfit. Next up, we have the costume lady. I picked up this woman at 2 a.m. dressed as a princess tiara, ball gown, the whole deal. Turns out she'd just left a costume party, but seeing her in full royal attire at that hour definitely threw me off. She even spoke in a royal accent the whole ride. Talk about commitment. A suspenseful story about a passenger on a strange phone call. Then there's the mysterious phone call. This guy gets in and immediately makes a call. He starts talking about the package and some vague plan. I couldn't tell if it was real or just a prank. But his serious tone gave me chills. He gets out and says, "You didn't hear anything, right?" That was one ride where I was glad to move on quickly. A crazy story about a passenger with an unexpected pet or animal. And finally, we have the animal lover. This woman gets in with a big bag, and suddenly a tiny snake slithers out. She laughs and tells me it's her therapy, a snake, that she takes everywhere. I had to keep my cool, but trust me, I was very relieved when we reached her stop. And that's a wrap. Late night rides bring out all kind of characters, the good, the bad, and the downright crazy. If you enjoyed these stories, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which story you'd want to hear more about. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there, especially if you are taking a late night ride.